Good morning, guys. Let me just take this ambient sound off, and yeah, and now we are set. So welcome back. Welcome back to another week, another trading session, and it is Monday, so a new week is already starting. I hope you've done well in between your weekend days, and yeah, new week ahead, new challenges, and let's see what we have here. Well, let's get straight into the charts. And as you can see here, price has been coming all the way up since the open, since the Friday open. Asia kind of stretched to the upside. London, same thing. And we are 2 minutes before the open, and we are now already displacing lower here. There's an SMT already happening here on in between ES and Q. Kind of weird, this price action on a pre-market open, but it can be some sort of a Judas swing since we are kind of bullish here, trying to get buy side liquidity as our all-time high and our previous week's high as well. So right now I'm searching for A plus setups on the long side, but honestly, if price really comes lower aggressively and it holds the bearish momentum, I will have to change my bias, because at this point there's a lot of people here making money, and usually the the market doesn't allow this easy job to traders, honestly. um Usually the market tends to punish everybody who's making money, and right now I'm not seeing anyone being punished from these longs here. It might happen right now, but let's just see. So the game plan is to look for A plus setups on the long side, despite this action seems like kind of bearish. So we have an SMT here in between ES and Q. We are displacing lower. We have this N1 here, which can eventually hold price at a certain level. We have London lows here, these relative equal lows, which can eventually be purged as well. Midnight open and Friday's high, which I don't believe we will go that low, but yeah, it's always a possibility. So right now, let's just wait for the open. I guess we have our 9:30 open candle already. Just let me check here. Oh, this is the 2 minute. Okay, now it's better. So this is the 1 minute. I felt that something was kind of off. So the 1 minute 9:30 open is right here. So far a nice touch on the NWOG. We are playing inside of a 4-hour bearish fair value gap as well. As you can see it here, we kind of rejected the last quarter and the midpoint of it. So I'm willing to see how far we will go to the downside, and then eventually wait for something bullish to happen. So we are now already pushing a bit higher. So the plan is really to look into something bullish and to search for A plus setups, since we have, as a bias, we have a bullish bias. Let's just see if we will get that A plus setup, or if we will head a little bit lower, which can eventually be acceptable as well, since we did nothing but go to the upside. And this is kind of not normal in terms of price action. So far, NQ is way stronger than ES. NQ is already reaching the 830 open, I guess. Yes, a bit weaker, but yeah, it's normal. Usually NQ is always stronger than ES. Just let me check the regular trading hours. So as you can see here, there's a huge gap here on the regular trading hours. We have some buy side liquidity here on ES on the regular trading hour session. So buy side liquidity, but this one right here is relatively to the regular trading session. So we'll push this a little bit further. We have the gap as well, the opening range gap. Yeah. So now let me just check how NQ is behaving relatively to MNQ. Yeah, we still have some buy side liquidity as well here on the regular trading hour session. And there's a huge gap as well. So I believe we are still bullish here. So there we go. I'll just push this a little bit to the side. And yeah, that's it, I guess. So we have as well a 10 hour orange folder news as well. So I will wait for that. At this point, since we are trying to get below 930 open, I would accept a purge of London lows and then a reaction to the upside. That would be great. Somehow near between 1050, 950 to 1010. That would be a good narrative, I guess. So if price just purges London lows inside a macro, we could eventually form some sort of a reversal type of setup. I'm just searching if NQ already purged London lows or not. Just let me just check it. It's kind of hard to see here. So where's the yeah, not yet. Yeah, not yet. Not yet. So far, a nice reaction here from the NWOG and from the bottom of the bearish fair value gap. Still waiting here. Well, keep in mind that this this week is the NFP week, so the protocol says that we should stop trading at Wednesday, because everything after Wednesday will probably be a low probability environment. So keep that in mind as well. Boas, Francisco. Como é que é? Tudo a andar aqui? So I'm still waiting here. ES kind of weak. And Q trying to take out these highs here already. But still waiting. I will probably wait until 10 because we have an orange folder news, and I really don't like to play any setup before any type of news. I kind of get myself burnt whenever I try to do it, so that's why I try to avoid it. I've burned myself a lot of times already. So I kind of have some sort of PTSD about it. Well, at this point, I'm still observing, but I wouldn't mind to take out London lows inside the macro and eventually wait for some sort of a reversal inside the macro. So this could be something that I would play, something like this, because I'm still bullish. Um, I will eventually change my bias if I really see some follow through below London lows. But this would be a nice scenario here to keep in mind. Something like this. We still have some buy side liquidity on the regular trading hour session to take out as well. We have these relative equal highs as well, despite having this SMT here. Yeah, but NQ is really trying to push price to the upside, while ES is trying to hold the analog right now. I believe, yeah, we have a. Let me just check here. Which is this one? Yeah, it's that one right here. Yeah, we have a small first presented fair value gap here. Not that big of a fair value gap, but it is. It is. It is the first presented one. So far, price is respecting it. At this point, we are reaching for 25% of the opening range gap as well, and we will hit probably London lows in a couple of minutes. Yeah, I believe we are bullish, honestly. We're talking about YM, right? So micro DAO. on the regular trading hour. Yeah. Yeah, I was checking NQ as well. NQ is the strongest today, while YM is the opposite, and I believe ES is in the middle of them. Just like we talked about on Friday. I believe it was Friday. I'm not sure. Just let me check the regulatory session on here on ES. Yeah, sell side is way below here on ES. I don't I don't believe we have the need to go that low. But let's just see. Let's wait a bit more. Yeah, NQ already took buy side on the regular trading session, but I believe we are still bullish. ES is having a hard time to exit from the 4 hour first presented the 4 hour fair value gap here, the bearish one. Midnight open serving as support, the analog as well. Kind of odd that we left these relative equal lows here on London. We kind of saved them probably for some later action, but so 950 is it's kind of approaching. I believe the setup is forming. I'm kind of suspicious about these lows here on ES, honestly. I really don't like these lows here left behind. But at the same time, it can't be acceptable since YM already did the sell side job. NQ is kind of crazy pushing to the upside right now. So yes, is just following probably. Yeah, you would be long if yeah. I kind of I kind of don't like when price just leaves. It kind of left London lows behind, and I prefer to wait. We still have the 10 a.m. news. I don't know if the 10 a.m. news will just wick something like this. So just to take out this liquidity. Looking at NQ, I don't think there's a setup on NQ. At least a clean setup. It's just a push to the upside at this point. So at this point, we will have some sort of a breaker here. But the only thing that's really messing with me, it's the London low here, which I don't like. Too clean of a low. And meanwhile, NQ is about 100, yeah, 100 handles from all-time highs. Let's see if this breaker just holds here, or if we will visit London lows just to take out that liquidity. At this point, I'm not quite sure if we will do something like this. It would be kind of odd, but sometimes price can do odd things. And Q is still pushing here. And we have about 2 minutes before the macro. And about 12 minutes, 11 now, to the 10 a.m. news. So at this point, I will just wait. Let me just take another glimpse at YM. Hmm. Oops. God damn it. Yeah, looking at YM, it really makes me think twice about what price is really doing right now. Yeah, we have a decoupled market at this point. if if London lows were already taken here and the market was not undecoupled like it is now, we would have a almost perfect setup here. Looking for buy side liquidity here with a low hanging fruit on the midpoint of this bearish fair value gap. But yeah, I will wait. I think it's the safest option here. Just wait. I'm honestly not in a hurry to get into something. Let me just check what you're saying, Francisco. YM on the 4 hour. Yeah. Yeah, it can. And it is doing 50% of this wick as well. Yeah, it can. Well, it can if we are still bullish, right? Otherwise, we will head lower at this point. But just let me look at yes on the higher time frame. I mean, Yeah, it's kind of acceptable for price to come a little bit lower here on ES, but yeah, let's wait. There we go. Yeah, so far, the first presented is kind of holding here on ES. We are playing inside a macro. We have some relative equal highs here as well, so I believe price will try to take them out. These ones right here. Yeah, I'm with you, Francisco. I'm with you. I would only long here if we have taken London lows out. Honestly, I I don't feel safe longing this. First of all, the breaker is not completed yet. So, but even if we do something like this, um, yeah, I don't feel safe longing this because of these lows here. I'm with you. If price really digged a little bit lower here, which was which what which was what I was expecting. I mean, yeah, I would have long, but with price like this, I don't like it. I don't I don't feel safe long in this right now. And it can happen that price will just displace a little bit higher and then come once again lower inside the breaker. It will just take these um, the buy side liquidity here on the regular trading hour and then eventually head lower to London lows. So I will just wait because the original plan was to look for A plus setups on the long side, and then an A plus setup just needs to have sell side purged. So if if no sell side is purged, we only have pre-market lows purged right now. Okay, we kind of held the 25% of the opening range gap, but that's not. I think that's not enough for me. Yeah, I've taken a look at BTC and Ethereum. I don't know, yesterday I believe. Just let me check here. And I was getting some bottom vibes, honestly. Yeah, yesterday I opened the crypto charts and yeah, I was getting some bottom vibes. Mm-hmm. I don't think we have Ethereum here. Micro Ether. Is this? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like it. Seems like the crypto boys will start to smile again. Let me just check BTC once again here on the 4 hour. Yeah, just let me check the continuous contract of Bitcoin. Yeah, despite having some relative equal lows, it's starting to get some bottom vibes, honestly. I had the same read yesterday when I opened the crypto charts. Yeah, if you look into Solana might be doing the same as well. Yeah, Solana is I think it's if you look into the 4 hour, it's kind of clear that we will have some straight move to the upside, in my opinion. Let's get back into ES. We are approaching the 10 a.m. news. Yeah, still inside this range here. Messy, very messy opening here, which usually I tend to see that the the NFP the Monday of the NFP week usually it's a good day to trade. It's not a hard day to trade, especially when we have some sort of a new driver. Um, but yeah, we had a messy opening here on ES. Yeah, I can look. Yeah, I can look at BTC without being on futures, but only on Trading View. Topstep just plays with futures contracts. I had to open my Trading View here just to check it out. But yeah, I had the same reading and the same feeling. I had looked at it yesterday when it was kind of consolidating here down below. Um, right around 109,000. And yeah, I said to me, if we invert that bearish fair value gap on the left, especially on the 4 hour, yeah, we will probably head to the upside. And it kind of materialized. Well, I believe the best choice was to take the hands out of the trigger and just wait. And meanwhile, we have the 10 a.m. news driver already, but nothing happened. We just took these relative equal highs here, which were talking about. But yeah, nothing. Nothing here. Let me take another sip of my coffee. Just let me watch once again YM just to. Okay. Yeah, we did 50% of the wick on the 4 hour on YM. Just to the tick. Right to the tick. Well, I kind of get the feeling that if NQ really starts to head lower, I believe we will head lower as well here on ES. Just let me take a measure. Yeah, we were not able to close above the 25% here on the bearish fair value gap. So the breaker never materialized, and we can eventually head lower here. Obrigado, amor. Well, we are still waiting for something to happen. I'm not bearish yet, but it kind of starts to feel like we can eventually head lower instead of head higher. We kind of rejected 50% of this bearish leg. Price was not able to close above 25% of this 4-hour bearish fair value gap as well. So the bullish scenario is still in hold. So now to move back up here inside a breaker, the potential breaker. But as you can see, price is really thick here, not allowing us to do anything until now. Let me just check once again YM. Yeah, looking at NQ already, not already, it kind of formed another relative equal low, which I personally don't like. Yes, now trying to get above this breaker. We still have some buy side liquidity here on the regular trading hour session to take out. And I'm curious to see what happens after we take this out. Because at this point we can do something like this. So now I would like to see the breaker to act as a some sort of support, but it can't happen that let me just check an MYM. No, it really can happen that we will move lower because we have 830 open. We have this buy side liquidity here as well. So if we are not bullish, we can do something like this and take out this liquidity and eventually Asia lows. But if we are bullish, price will eventually support somewhere. It can eventually support at 830, or it can come back here and eventually do something like this. So back to the breaker here after taking regular trading hour session buy side liquidity and after trying to get above 830 open. The reason why I'm not taking a long here is because we did not purge London lows. Otherwise it could have been a good setup. It was some sort of what we were expecting if we are um, trading to the upside. But the criteria of the model is not met. Hmm. Take price action here on ES, honestly. So far, a boring morning here. So prices now here on ES is now stuck in between 9:30 open and 8:30 open, which is it's always boring when price is stuck in between some opens that are in fact close to each other. Mm. Yeah, seems like this breaker will not hold, and we will eventually try to purge London lows. Looking at the 15-minute fair value gap, 15-minute chart, you can see that ES was not able to close inside that bearish fair value gap. I believe that if NQ shows some signs of weakness, ES will easily follow NQ to the downside here. At this point, we have some sort of a bearish breaker here. We took buy side liquidity on the regular trading hour session. We took out these relative equal highs as well. Mm, we have London lows still to purge. So at this point, if we lose a 9:30 open or the first presented fair value gap, then I believe price will head lower, eventually targeting London lows and possibly Asia lows. But in order to that to happen, we need to see something like this eventually until Friday's high. that way we would eventually close the opening range gap as well. I know that I'm kind of switching bias, but it was some sort of part of the plan. If we don't see any signs of bullishness here, the most logical thing was to play the buy side liquidity and looking for some new all-time highs, because that's probabilities, right? Whenever we are close to all-time highs, um, we accept that the higher probability as a drawn liquidity is a new all-time high. So that's the safest play. But whenever we see these rejections here, midpoint of midpoint of the 4 hour fair value gap, 8:30 open, buy side liquidity, and if we lose here 9:30 open and the first presented fair value gap, yeah, I think we can consider a bias bearish for the rest of the session. Yeah, and Q is going lower as well. Let me just check in YM just to see what's YM is just accumulating here. Yeah, there we go. Moving lower. So I will take this here out and we'll start to consider bearish PD arrays. And there's another possibility if price will just come here. It seems like we will have a hard lasting session, because at this point we can have some sort of a seek and destroy action as well. If price really decides to come lower, do something like this. But let's see. So far, nothing. We took out these lows here, which on a Q were those relative equal lows that I talked about some minutes ago. And now let's see if these bearish PD arrays get respected or not, or if we just invert them and go to the upside. But even if we invert them, I really don't like this scenario on a bullish side. Just because we didn't took out the London lows, it's annoying me, honestly. These on London lows. So where do I have inverted one? On NQ, it seems like cleaner price action on NQ. Seems like NQ wants to continue to the upside. But yes is kind of, I don't know. Really don't like this range on ES. And another thing that I don't like is price playing in between the opens, 9:30 open and 8:30 open. And whenever we have price playing in between opens, it can be tough because it can do some ping pong action, just like this, just like it's been doing. But so far, ES inverting this bearish fair value gap. It kind of inverted this one, this small one right here. It's now working the bearish breaker as well, trying to invert at it as well. Let me just check how far or where are we in terms of yeah, we can do. Yeah, we are above the 25% of the 4 hour bearish fair value gap. But yeah, so far this NWOG is doing a great job holding price here, not allowing price to drop. We managed to retrace 25% of the opening range gap. So usually whenever price just does the 25% of the opening range gap, it seems and it means that um, it seems that it means that price can be in a bullish trend or be a kind of bullish. But honestly, this type of price action kind of make things a bit harder to read. If you look into the 15 minutes, we have one, two, three, four doji candles with wicks to the upside and to the downside. We'll just take this off just to make things a bit more cleaner. Yeah, Francisco, I'm feeling the same. I really feel the same. These London lows are kind of annoying me at this point. If it wants to go to the upside, it can go. I will not. I will probably not interact with it. But another thing that I don't like is whenever price is stuck in between these opens, which I personally don't like. I used to get caught in between opens whenever we have the opens so close to each other, and it's very annoying to get caught inside and stuck inside of this range. Yeah, YM is really, this is the 50% of the 4 hour wick, but yeah, YM is, it's time distorting, honestly. Whenever we have a leg like this, and usually followed by some sort of time distortion like this, it usually tends to do this, right? But in this case, I really don't know. But this is pure time distortion. It's waiting for something, and usually the the moves followed by the moves that happen after time distortion, they usually are not they usually are not continuation moves. They usually are reversal moves. So it kind of can do something like this. I don't know. Yeah. Well, if we look into, yes, it's, the time distortion is not that clean, but we can call it some sort of time distortion as well. See, the opens just pushing price here to the downside, here to the upside, and the price is kind of stuck in between 9:30 and 8:30. So usually this happens a lot, honestly. Right now, the 15-minute chart on ES is a beautiful mess. Yeah, then it came to equilibrium here, but nice reaction here from the inverted fair value gap so far. But yeah, I'm not trusting this leg to the upside. It can eventually continue to the upside, but it would have been perfect if this leg here would have come a little bit lower, taking out London lows, and then offering some such a nice breaker and followed by some sort of a fair value gap. I was expecting some sort of unicorn model here, but it never happened. Well, right now we are entering just 10 minutes more. I mean, 15. And we are entering the next macro. So I will mark the next macro and we'll probably wait for it. I will not interact with this mess. We'll wait until 10:50 and see what 10:50 has to offer us. So the 9:50 macro, honestly, it was kind of a empty macro. I like to call that an empty macro since it kind of offered here. If we go into the 15-minute, the 15-second, it kind of offered this setup here. It's really a low time frame setup, but it's a valid setup since we took out these lows and we had buy side liquidity as a regular trading hour session behind. We kind of formed a breaker here, as you can see. Let me just zoom in a bit. Some sort of a breaker. We had the NWOG acting as support, the bottom of the 4-hour fair value gap as well, the first presented fair value gap. So as soon as we see this displacement lag here, yeah, we know that we will probably head to this buy side liquidity here. But yeah, no retracement inside the breaker, no retracement inside any of these fair value gaps as well. So, and I usually don't play the 15-second chart. 1 minute is enough for me. So it seems like price will go for another run here inside the inverted fair value gap, trying to retest it once again. If this one gets reclaimed as a bearish one, then things would turn out interesting, but let's just see. And so far, I think we're doing a great job reading price. I think that's what matters, and whenever we have an environment like this, just reading price and be accurate with it. And I think we are doing a good job here, not taking any action inside this mess. Well, at this point, I believe if the macro, if we don't do anything until the macro, I believe the main move will happen after 11, probably, because at this point we are about 1 hour after the open, and nothing happened. So I believe 11 will mark something probably, and will give us something. Well, as I said before, the the Mondays of the NFP weeks, they usually tend to be good Mondays, especially when we have some news driver happening. But this one is not one of them. So I tend to believe that the rest of the week will be kind of hard. Price now trying to get out of the range, trying to move outside of 830. But as you can see, every time it touches it, it kind of gets rejected. So at this point, I believe a lot of long players are being trapped. I can see a lot of people trying to long this. At this point, it would be interesting to see some follow through, even if we go to the upside or to the downside. It doesn't matter. Once again, trying to reach outside of the 830 open. Let's see if price really can do such thing, or if it will go back inside the range. Let me take a glimpse at the Dow. Yeah. So time distortion, and the Dow is trying to, just like we said, that this was some sort of time distortion, and whenever we have time distortion, that's happening after some sort of a lag to the upside or to the downside. It usually goes in the opposite direction, but I'm not convinced at this point, especially with ES. ES once again having a hard time to suppress 830 open. Meanwhile, just let me take a look at micro. Yeah, that's it. Micro gold. Yeah, kind of a mess as well. Yeah, we are at all-time highs once again. Well, since the breakout here, it's been great. There's a lot of liquidity here still as well. Let me check the weekly. Yeah. Yeah, but today's price action on gold is it's kind of messy as well. Since the open especially. Some sort of a megaphone pattern, so there's nothing to do here as well. Yeah, slow grind up here on ES. And meanwhile, we are 2 minutes away from from the macro. Let's see if the macro will fuel some of the move to the upside here. Yes, I'm on a combine. But I think today is not today unless 11 a.m. will give us something to work with. Otherwise, this is just uh, price action that we should not touch. Damn, somebody is knocking on, ringing the bell like this. Yeah, probably someone wants to read the water or electricity. Not the electricity, but the water. It's the water, right? Yeah, it is. Yeah, they usually turn they usually ring the bell like this. Once again, rejection at 8:30. So yeah, the main insight from today's price action is whenever price is in between uh, 8:30 open and 9:30 open, try to not engage with it, especially when the opens are so close to each other. They are just 6 handles apart from each other. So yeah, don't try to force anything whenever you see price in between these two, and it can be as well as midnight open and 9:30 open or 8:30 open. So NQ bomb on the other platform. Good luck with it, bro. Good luck with your first combine. Try not to force anything in these type of conditions. Honestly, do you also trade ICT concepts, or do you trade anything else? Yeah. Meanwhile, BTC is ripping higher here as well. Yeah, look how 8:30 got rejected once again. We are now showing some bearishness once again here on ES, but still inside the range, so nothing to work with. So no sell side point was, I mean, no buy side point was purge here. But we have some sort of a SMT here in between ES and NQ. So this one right here. With no displacement that will um, validate this SMT, honestly. I usually, when I detect some sort of an SMT, I look for displacement to just to validate it. So I cannot call these red candles displacement. It seems like this one right here will get reclaimed, but I will wait for it. Yeah, we got this one reclaimed here. Still inside the range, but let's just see if the first presented fair value gap will hold price here. And if it really holds price here, and if we go once again above this reclaimed one, then it's a no game. But so far, seems like price wants to reach for lower action here. Because on the S, we still have London lows. Yeah, Francisco, it's nothing for me too, honestly. It's just a back and forth type of action. The 15-minute it's ugly. Um, with wicks to the upside and to the downside. and nothing is clean, honestly. I'm just curious to see these next couple of minutes inside the 11 a.m. candle if something happens. Otherwise, this is just a price reading trading session. We are still inside 8:30 open and 9:30 open. So everything can happen here. It's just it's like a coin toss here, honestly. And even if we displace here a little bit lower, okay, we have this reclaimed fair value gap. Okay, we will lose 9:30 open. We will eventually lose the first presented fair value gap. But as soon as we get here, we have this shaded area here, and we have midnight open as well. So price can really do something like this, head lower to midnight open, taking out London lows, and then retrace back inside the range, and then offering us something better to work with. So even if price comes here to the London lows, I don't think we should play for 7 handles. I don't think that's worth the risk, honestly. It can come a little bit lower. It can come eventually to the midpoint of the opening range gap, but even if it comes to the opening 50% of the opening range gap, it's just 10 handles. Just 10 handles and something like this. Yeah, it doesn't look enticing, honestly. So NQ bomb from the purple platform. Um, for how long have you been learning ICT? So at this point, we are 1 hour and 40 minutes. Yeah, I was asking to someone else on on the on the purple platform, not the red one. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the names of the other platforms. I know that some that some platforms does not don't allow to say other platforms' names, so that's why. I actually was asking NQ Bomb, which is on the purple platform. Yeah, I stream both the red one and the purple one. Yeah, the other side, it's like a desert as well. Just me and another guy. I believe I believe the purple platform is it's a bit harder to grow. But honestly, it was never my main objective to grow on socials. It's just it was just a matter of discipline, just to have some eyes looking into what I'm doing and have some accountability. That was the main purpose of these streams. Yeah, just two viewers on the other side. Yeah, looking at the stream stats here on the red platform, 15 people already passed through the stream, but right now there are two people. It's you, Francisco, and somebody else that I can't see who is, but yeah, usually I have about a dozen. I don't know. It seems like ES is trying to lose 930 open and eventually lose the first presented fair value gap. But as I as I said before, this is a congested area here and kind of tricky for shorts. Since we have the first presented fair value gap, the bottom of the 4 hour fair value gap as well, midnight open and a walk. So a lot of these things can eventually act as support unless we go straight down with the displacement. But in these conditions, I'm not willing to participate in any type of shorts here. But once again, here, if you look closely, this is another sign of a weakness where 25% of this half was just rejected. So I believe, and usually when we have a reclaimed fair value gap, it tends to have a lot of strength. There we go. lost 930. But see, this is the type of action that we had to deal with if we were in some sort of a short. Price just wicking, and I believe it can go a little bit lower, but will be in a high resistance form probably. Seems like price will have some follow through here. Let's see how it behaves as soon as we take this wick here. And let's see if it will eventually lose the 4 hour fair value gap or not. So the 1050 macro provided us a short setup until midnight open, at least. But the action really started at 11 as I was expecting it to happen. So at this point, we are approaching London lows, and I'm curious to see what will happen as soon as we hit London lows. You too, Francisco. Have a great day, but have a great day. I will be here for some more couple of minutes, but yeah, we'll do nothing as well. So NQ Bomb, you are researching a year ago, but started to learn 3 months ago. Yeah, you are in the early stages of the learning curve, I would say. Beginner stuff, yes. Yeah, there's a bot in the chat. Yeah, I know. There's always bots in the chat, especially here on the purple platform. I don't really care, honestly. I usually block them, but there's always more. So yeah, if you want some advice here, um, 3 months, it's a yearly, it's an early stage, of course. Um, take your time. Do not rush into anything. Um, I kind of find it's kind of early to start to throw some money into combines. But yeah, everybody has its pace. So if you want to start to trade and feel the real feel of it, I guess the combine is it's the best option. But I think it's a bit early to start with it, especially if you want to demand some payouts and probably you will put some pressure on you and demand a lot from you. And yeah, it can backfire. So try to avoid demanding a lot from you. So London lows purged. So this reclaimed fair value gap really acted as a good fair value gap. But yeah, there's the SMT here as well. So as soon as we spot the SMT, the bearish move just started. There was no displacement to validate this SMT, but I'm glad I noticed it. And we are now heading lower. Let's just see how far it will go. We came into the charts with a bullish bias, but the bullish bias was kind of validated when we started to see some unwillingness to trade above the midpoint of this bearish fair value gap. So there is no any type of candle above the midpoint of this bearish fair value gap. So this is a sign of weakness on price, and every move to the upside, we did it without taking out London lows. So it was kind of suspicious. And now I would like to see, since we already took out London lows, now I would like to see if we start to build some sort of a inversion type of model, or if we will just continue until London Asia lows or eventually Friday's high, which seems likely. Yeah, and the party really started after 11. Yeah, lately price action past post 11 has been better than 9:30 to 11. So 50% of the opening range gap is done. Let's just check the 2 minutes quickly here. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for today's stream. We are 2 hours already. 2 hours in. I think that's enough, honestly. Um, yeah, no trade today. Price action was not it wasn't it was not perfect. It was not good, honestly. A lot of back and forth, back and forth, and yeah, I believe it needed to purge on lows just to head higher. Um, I guess we will not continue lower since we are now pushing to the upside with a displacement. So if you are willing to trade above the midpoint of this N walk, um, and eventually inverting this fair value gap, then we will move a little bit higher. Um, but yeah, this was some sort of a retest here on the N walk. Midnight open is here as well. So unless we go above this one right here, I can see a little bit more of downside, but I don't believe we will, because my main bias is still bullish, and we made already 50% of the opening range gap. We took out London lows. So in terms of sell side liquidity, in terms of downside, I think that's enough for yes. We kind of formed an SMT in between ES and NQ as well. So yeah, this can be continuation to the upside, especially if we go above the first presented fair value gap. So this is what I see for probably the next couple of minutes, or eventually hours. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for being there. I really appreciate it. If you're not following the channel, yeah, just give it a follow. Give it a thumbs up as well. And yeah, see you tomorrow. Hoping we have some better price action. Okay. Thank you. Stay safe, and yeah, see you tomorrow.